if the price of oil plummets, the United States has no urgency, which means that they could just wait for the midterms to be over for them to go back.
This is politically, this would be a huge win for President Trump, being able to bring down the prices of oil like that before the midterms, and then he could go back at it again after the midterms.
Yes, but I don't like this because the Islamic Republic gets time and some money.
Yep. So that's a disadvantage.
Rebuilds their strategy on how to deal with the United States again the next time they come. Suppresses the people again. People are economically starving more. So if your goal is to use the people as an uprising as the United States, to continue this strategy is bad. But if you're going to let the ships go out, then do the blockade again. Okay, I get it.
I mean, at the end of the day, President Trump did so we're doing the blockade. So losing the blockade temporarily goes against what we want because the Islamic Republic does get funded, right? That's the downside. The upside is one for United States, because oil prices will go down before the midterms. Remember, we do need to want the Republicans to do better during the midterms, because if the Democrats take over, then we will stop complaining about what Trump does, because now the Democrats are in power and they will be by far worse. So anything President Trump could do to help with the midterms is in our benefit. So that's a one win. At least we will have some positive effect on the midterms. Another win for us. So yeah, we're not gonna, guys. We're not saying that it's all good, right? It's not all good. The major bad part is all the money that will go to the Islamic Republic. Okay, that's the major bad news. The good news is that, first of all, it benefits President Trump, but the most important part of it is that the Strait of Hormuz is demonstrated to not be an effective leverage for the Islamic Republic. One, but also having a signature, officially having a signature, if this is actually real news, which we can't be sure yet, with the Islamic Republic is the most devastating news for the pro-regime Iranians possible as right now. If this is actually confirmed, this will escalate the civil war, the internal division within the Islamic Republic. It will escalate it.
Okay, yeah, so they're gonna start tearing each other apart even more.
And also we could tell that the IRGC is going to probably violate a lot of this, right? Here's a difficult part, Ali. Even if the IRGC violates it, President Trump might still want to stick with this because they want the oil prices to be lower before the midterm. So the IRGC might know that they have a lot of they could keep poking, and President Trump probably will not go back to doing all of this until the midterms are over. Maybe that's their calculation. What do you think?
Maybe, yeah. This would allow them to wait until the midterms are over. Also, I am checking. Okay, so also there's a 60-day extension, right? And in this 60 days, the ships that are stuck can come out, according to President Trump so far. But what happens after that? Also, the nuclear has to be negotiated during this 60-day period.
Yeah, that seems really difficult to do.
I don't know if we should have removed the blockade before the IRGC gave us assurances that they can't target ships in the Strait. I think that would have been.
But you're not talking to IRGC. You're not talking to IRGC. You're talking to Ghaliba.
True. So that's going to fuel even more division. Yeah, looks like division is the main negative for the Islamic Republic here. there's just no way that they're going to get around this. I mean, the regime supporters are definitely going to be so angry that they're losing their biggest leverage on world markets here. Like, why wouldn't they think, okay, now that the US has done this to us, why wouldn't they just come back later at some point in time and just finish us off?
All right, okay. We should read the super chats, but before that, let's actually go. Let's get a summary of what's happening here. Wait, hold on. Is this the best one? Or yeah.
Gulf countries like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and others to normalize ties with Israel in the aftermath of Operation Epic Fury. Because again, the vision here for the president is a Middle East where there isn't a constant state of war, but rather opportunity and prosperity for countries across the region. And so it's a significant announcement. Certainly, there is still a lot of work to be done. There's a big difference between signing and implementing a deal. But this is a major first step toward peace in the region.
This is the more complete version. Yeah, let's actually watch this one instead. This is...
Yeah, Kevin, good afternoon. I just spoke with President Trump. He tells Fox News he believes a deal with Iran will be signed in the next 2 to 3 hours. I asked him about the Israeli strikes earlier today against Hezbollah in the Lebanese capital of Beirut. He tells me he spoke on the phone with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, asking him, "What the F are you doing?" He told the prime minister not to conduct additional strikes against Hezbollah so that it doesn't.
I don't like that language against Bibi, I have to be honest.
Doesn't affect this deal from moving forward. Now, the Israelis are bracing for the possibility of incoming Iranian ballistic missile fire, according to...
So what is it? What is Israel supposed to do? Like, are they supposed to not respond to Hezbollah for the next 60 days?
To the IDF and President...
Or were they supposed to just wait for this to be signed? And now, now that we have the signature, can Israel now defend itself, please? Can they defend themselves now, please?
According to the IDF, and President Trump tells Fox News he will ask Iran not to respond with missile fire toward Israel, with this deal on the horizon expected to be signed tonight. All of this taking place amid the backdrop of these latest conversations to get this final agreement across the finish line. The president talked about the strikes in the middle of last week when he was hammering many of those Iranian positions, pushing the Iranians back to the negotiating table. You might remember, Kevin, I was on the phone with the president as he was in the Situation Room, and the Iranians called him and asked him to stop the bombing. The president believes that moment was able to shift the equation and again get the Iranians to make these concessions. President Trump says if they sign the deal tonight, he will immediately order the blockade on Iranian ports to be lifted and then move forward into these more detailed discussions as it relates to Iran's nuclear program. But again, the latest headlines that we know here, President Trump telling Fox News he believes a deal with Iran will be signed in the next 2 to 3 hours. This will take place electronically, the president says. And then a week from now, there is expected to be an in-person signing that could take place somewhere in Europe. Again, the president responding after those Israeli strikes today against the Lebanese capital of Beirut. The Israelis were striking a Hezbollah position in response to drone fire over the border this weekend into northern Israel. Again, the president telling Fox News, he asked the Israeli prime minister, "What the F are you doing?"
Yeah, that is not a good language to use against. I don't know, whatever is going behind the scenes. I don't know, but in front of everyone else, this language against BB is not helpful in any way, in my opinion. Sadato just became a member, I think, on your side. Thank you so much, Sadato.
Hey, welcome, Sadato.
And then Guy, thank you so much for the super chat, saying, if Israel is against it, why target Vahidi? Why target Vahidi? I don't know what you mean. What does that mean? Why target Vahidi?
We'll wait until he clarifies that. But hey, Farce News. Farce News is saying that, let me show you guys this. Farce News is saying that, okay, not only is this a peace deal, right? America's surrendered to us, but it's also decided that if you want to go through the Strait of Hormuz, you have to cooperate between Iran and Oman. So they're still holding on to that. That's not what Trump's saying. saying it's free and open.
Wait. So wait. So forgetting about their interpretation, are they confirming that there has been a signature? Like,
They didn't say. They didn't say. They said actually they're saying on Friday, on June 19th, they'll sign.
Wait.
So they haven't
So
even
you know
signed
what? Is Fars confirming that something has been signed?
No, they're saying that they have agreed to sign, but they haven't yet, because there's probably
Are they
some
still
things.
saying nothing has been signed?
Yeah, so I'm gonna find this for you right here on Meh News. I want you to take a look at this. If I can pull up this exact link.
I think it's possible that Fars News is trying to make the regime supporters feel better by just telling them.
Okay, so this is what Meh News is saying.
Mehr News is more supreme leader than IRGC.
Gotcha. So we did not agree
God.
to the memorandum until we included our last points and demands.
So that means that they agreed.
That's what they're saying. They're saying we agreed on our terms. That's what the
So
regime is
Ali,
saying.
you understand what they're doing. This is copium, right? So both forces are like, guys, this is why this deal is in our benefit. And Mehr News is saying, Mehr News on behalf of Ghalibaf is saying, Ghalibaf is saying on Mehr News basically that guys, this is actually good for us. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to make this an easier pill to swallow. What the regime supporters are going to be hearing is a confirmation that the Islamic Republic submitted to the Americans. These people are trying to make that easier to swallow. Do you understand what I'm saying, Ali?
Yeah, so this person in the chat here is correct. That you're right.
Yeah, because exactly. No, but not only that. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. That I'm right. Thank you so much for seeing that. But also, what is happening is that they're trying to soften the blow. So here's the thing. So imagine if I want to tell you the bad news, but instead of focusing on giving you the bad news, I'm telling you the good parts of it, right? Like, I think you're reading something else, Ellie. You're not listening to what I'm saying. But guys in the chat, do you guys understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I'm listening.
Yeah, this is the Islamic Republic trying to break the news to the regimes up to the internally. But instead of saying that, yes, we signed something, they're saying, guys, trust me. This is actually in our favor. Like, they know that this is not going to be received well by regime supporters. So they're focusing on saying, guys, this is so good for us. We argued so hard. Ghalibaf is saying like, oh, we didn't agree until they gave us this. And IRGC is saying, guys, we're going to, with this, what was decided on was that us and Oman will be collecting tolls. They are trying to manage the reaction by the regime supporters. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yep. Because, again, Trump just said no tolls / no service fees